Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Coach Sagasta. Honored, privileged, and blessed to be with each and every single one of you. It is Monday, and just exiting out of a good webinar. I love my AF family, and a lot of respects to a veteran, community member, Alex Bone. Again, RIP to this genuine soul and his family during this time. I got definitely something to say, something to share with each and every single one of you. You know, we look back on Mondays, we look back at today and today's this moment, today's society, today's culture. I just got to say, we as a people must ignite our enthusiasm. I love this question, but someone in my community asked this particular question, and I do like this question. I love great questions. Don't get me wrong. Simple questions are good at sometimes, at the moment. But this question was really good. So guys, how do we move our negativity? That's exactly the question. How do we move from being negative? And I like that question. Here's why: is because I just shared a picture when Sarah and I went to Philly. And for those that don't know, but you got the city of brotherly love, the city of brotherly love. And I love Philly. I've been around some different states and some different cities, but I happen to really, really love Philly. And a lot of that is because just the history, the wonderful array of beautiful people there. Don't get me wrong. Everybody that's in my tri-state community, I love you. Believe me, I wouldn't do what I do if I didn't love you. I mean it. But nonetheless, there's a different feeling. That's why they call the city of brotherly love. I know many of you are probably thinking, well, it's not right now. Okay, listen. The question was asked, how do you remove negativity? Okay, for anybody that's a researcher, anybody that's a scholar, they understand how to remove negativity. And so I'm going to share just 3 areas, 3 tips, 3 strategies, 3 secrets that I've been using over the course of 6 years and still practicing today. And I refuse as a soul on this earth, as an occupant of the time and place on this earth, I refuse to remove myself from these practices. And so I'm going to go ahead and share them with you because I want to share something that you can resonate with. Again, the question was asked, how do you remove negativity? Number one is to practice a positive mental attitude. That's number 1. Okay, practice a positive mental attitude. Number 2, find relationships that attract that energy of positiveness. I know there's a lot of cliche people. Oh my God, you're too vibrant. You're too positive, Mr. Positive. Listen, there's nothing wrong with being called Mr. Positive, Mrs. Positive. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that at all. In fact, it might even stroke your ego just a bit. Just saying. But it feels good, and it ought to feel good to each and every single one of us. Just having a bit of positiveness in your life, just every single day, introducing it. Oh, great stuff. And number three is very simple, okay? And I hope you guys gravitate towards this. Listen to something positive every single morning. Listen to something positive. And the more I've researched, the more I've listened, the more I've reviewed and observed and experienced this particular lesson is watching what happens to my children. Again, they're my first guinea pigs. They're my first science. They were my very first science project when it comes to the experimentation. My own children. And what I learned in my own children from Isaac, Andrew, and Delina is the more they got in the automobile university, the more that they heard of genuine leaders throughout history in our home, the more books that I bought to introduce into the collaboration in our home, the greater value I seen in my own children. Now, again, I'm not saying this to impress you, but to press upon you. Number 1, define what a positive mental attitude is. Number 2, you got to introduce it every single day. And number 3, you got to listen to it. Every single day. Those are 3 tips that I wanted to share with you because, again, someone asked in a community that I'm associated with, how do you get rid of a negative attitude? And I said, that's just simple. This was my answer. That was simple. Educate yourself on a positive mental attitude. Number 2, practice it. Number 3, listen to it on a daily basis. That is how you rewire the mind as well as the heart to introduce a positive mental attitude on a daily basis. That is so simple. I'm serious, so simple. And yet so hard for so many because we turn on the TV. In fact, I heard my pastor just this morning or yesterday morning, he talked about the news. He brought the news into the church house. He brought the news into the church house. No disrespect, but you don't have to bring in, if you're a pastor, you don't need to bring in the news into the church house. Why? Because we are already here on a daily basis, almost 97% negative news. Very interesting, right? So again, you have to be very careful on what you feed your mind, what seeds you put in your heart. The question in my community was asked, how do you get rid of negativity? And don't think that great successful people like, I was just expressing earlier to Dr. Eric Thomas this morning, we're going to talk Wednesday, but again, he had something that negatively affected him. And all I did was give him a solution. Here's a strategy. So even at the top, even the top individuals will be hit with some type of negative form. It could be a negative event. It could be a negative, roadblock or circumstance or challenge. But they might be family. So it's very important for humanity to remove themselves from this contagious disease of negativity. Even in business. You heard me, even in business. I could go all up and down my highway right now. I can go all up and down my community right now. And there are a lot of businesses that are looking for work. There are help wanted signs everywhere. And it might not just be in my community, it might be outside of my community as well. But why am I telling you this? Because that could, again, be negative, very negative for anybody coming into my town. Or you could do what the greats have done and start bringing people like myself into business, into programs to help revolutionize the direction or vision or clarity of the business in itself. So again, very, very interesting subject that I'm here sharing with you, that I'm expressing with you right now. How do you remove negativity? By cutting the umbilical cord. Again, number 1, very simple, practice a positive mental attitude. Number 2, do it daily. Number 3, listen to it every single day. I promise you, just watching over the course of 10 years, but just in the last 6, watching what it does with my family. I had to first feed myself, and then I started feeding my family with it. It's an interesting subject, I promise you. If you do something worthy, your life will change. It's that simple. It's that simple. Listen, my name is Coach Frank Sagasa out of the great state of Arizona. Many blessings to each and every single one of you. I hope for those who are watching the replay, hey, send this out to somebody that you know in your circle, in your Facebook circle, that can use some encouraging words that might resonate with them. All right. I love you guys. Be blessed. Have a great and fabulous new week. I look forward to seeing you guys again very shortly. Again, I don't like really doing the whole lives in the call, but again, just a message that really struck my heart and my mind, and I wanted to share with you. Until the next time, be blessed. Make every single day a masterpiece. I'm out.